Japan is making its first appearance in the biennial US-led Valiant Shield military exercises in the Western Pacific. Valiant Shield is one of the US's largest war games and trains all branches of the militaries involved on how to work together in this part of Asia. Japan says this year armed forces will also carry out drills in waters that extend from Japan to the Philippines and the east coast of Taiwan. The drills will last until June 18th. As military activity ramps up in the Indo-Pacific, countries like Japan are boosting their defences in case of a conflict. For more on this and how it could affect Taiwan, our reporter Jaime Ocon spoke to Robert Ward, Director of Geoeconomics and Strategy at the International Institute of Strategic Studies.
So in terms of this exercise, this Valiant Shield 2024, Japan's first time joining these exercises, what does that say about the role and the position it's going to play in maintaining security in the Indo-Pacific?
Well, Japan's in the middle of perhaps the biggest set of defence reforms that it's undertaken since the end of the Second World War. So really major stuff. And it set out its plans in the 2022 National Security Strategy, which was the end, if you like, of the post-war view that had predominated, basically that Japan would rely on the US for all its defence, would be quite passive. One of the key bits about how Japan views its strategic environment now is it sees it's important to disrupt invasions and the like outside its own territory. And this is a really important psychological, emotional, strategic leap for Japan. But that means that it has to work far more closely now, operationally, strategically, with the United States.
Is there any kind of message that Japan is trying to send here in conducting these large-scale exercises with the US?
Well, with Valiant Shield 2024, clearly Japan's trying to do, and the US trying to do a number of things. One is defense diplomacy to signal to China that the alliance with Japan is ironclad, and it is deepening. And within this, if there was a contingency in Taiwan, Japan's role will be absolutely key for the US, certainly in the early stages of any conflict. So it's very important strategically for the US and Japan to be sending this signal to China.
And in terms of Taiwan and a potential war there, how important is Japan in possibly working with the United States to help Taiwan in the event of a conflict?
I think over the last couple of years, you've seen quite a big change in how Japanese government, Japanese politicians articulate the risks around Taiwan. When Prime Minister Suga met President Biden a couple of years ago, he spoke about the importance of the stability of the Taiwan Strait, the security and the stability in the Taiwan Strait, which was for Japan at the time quite a big thing to say. Since then, you had other politicians from the cabinet saying Taiwan security is Japan's security, etc. So the government's now being far more forward-leaning on recognizing the importance of Taiwan security for Japan.